dear, look what happened this morning. I was called out to a job and all of the locks had been super glued, this one included. And I tried to debond this, but I couldn't. So I had to open it using destructive means. But what was interesting about this lock is I haven't seen Latham locks before, and I believe they're a hardware company. So I just wanted to explore the cylinder and see what they put inside it. And what I noticed is while I was opening it this morning, it was spitting spool pins out at me, which was quite interesting. So I just wanted to see what it would have taken to have picked this. So what I'm going to do is just have a quick play with this and see if we can get it open. Yeah, see whether it's actually got many security features inside the lock. It doesn't feel too bad a cylinder, actually, to be fair. It feels a reasonable... Oh, there, oh, look at that. That's gone straight into a full set there. Oh, and I've just popped the pick back in and it's gone into a really deep full set. So it's hung up on a spool pin somewhere. Let's just see what's going on at the front here. Pin 1, pin 2. Pin 2's given me... Look at that for counter rotation, look at that. That's literally just spinning itself around on a dime there. Let's just pop that in, see if we can set that spool pin. Okay, so that is pin 2 has been set. So there's obviously some security pins inside here that well, I guess it's to be expected. What have we got now? Pin 4, I think it is. Add a little bit of counter rotation on it. There we go. That's set. So 6. Pin 5 is quite high. Is pin 5 a spool pin? Pin 5 is a spool pin as well. There we go. That's set. 5, 4, 3 is quite high. 2. Let's go back through again. Something's hanging in there. Okay, so I've just set 6 again. We got the full set back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 is quite high. There are 2's giving me counter rotation. Let's just, aha, there we go. And so we got the lock open. So it was a standard spool pin challenge there. So let's just pull that out. I've pushed that in there quite firmly. There we go. So now that I've got that picked, I'm going to strip it down and see what's inside it. Right, the gutting has been completed. And actually I'm quite impressed with this cylinder. The body is well engineered and quite heavy, so there's no cheating on the materials that have been used. It has the sacrificial cuts for the snap protection, and this is the clip that goes into this gap to act, no doubt, as stopping dirt from getting in and contaminating the cylinder. If you look at the core itself, you can see the again the sacrificial cut is mirrored in the core, but also we've got 2 anti-drill pins protecting the core at the front there, and those are those pins which are sitting at the top here. And then also within this core there were 2 hardened steel anti-drill pins, and there are 2 hardened steel driver pins there, which were basically halfway house between the core and the cylinder body, or the Bible. So so there's a reasonable amount of drill protection on this, which is good to see. And also the way that this has been engineered, if we look at the pins that are inside the lock, we've got 4 spool pins right at the very front from pin 1 to driver pin 4. And then right at the very front of the lock there is a, I'm going to call it a 0 lift. It's probably a 0 cut on the key right to start. So that means that anything that you do to try and pick this or bump it or pick gun or whatever, it's going to immediately overset that first pin. The negative side of that is that's actually quite a deep cut on the key. So what you're doing is you're putting the deepest cut as the first cut on the key, and we all know what can happen to a key that's had a lot of metal cut away close to the actual bow, and that is going to snap. So it may not be the best place to put a guard pin, but anyway, it's at the very start of the cylinder there. And then we've got 2 normal key pins. We've got these 2 hardened steel key pins, and then this pin here has got a little shoulder on it. And when that's put inside the core, it sits on a shelf, and the diameter of the cut above there is actually slightly wider. And what it does is it takes the bottom of that pin away from the lowest pin setting in the core itself. In other words, when you put a bump key in, the bump key will probably make contact with the first 5 pins, but this pin's being held up higher, and the bump key won't interface with that unless it's adjusted accordingly. So we've got anti-drill, we've got anti-pick, which is the spool pins, and we've got an anti-bump feature in there, and they're all standard springs. But anyway, it's quite an interesting collection of measures that have been put into this cylinder, and you know, you cannot describe this as a budget set of key pins and driver pins. This is actually designed to make the lock a lot harder to get into than a lot of the other sort of budget price locks that are available on the marketplace. So there you go. That's this one. Haven't seen it before. Now I have, and now we know what's inside it. And yeah, great. It's good to find something new and take it apart, see what's inside. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.